Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. Now, this is a blog I got in about an older lady, older person, and they're saying she's not a very nice person, and she bought land, and there were pipes that were running under the ground on that land, or maybe over the ground, but they're saying that she built her house over the pipes, and she has put a stop valve. I'm going to call it a valve, a stop valve, so that she can control water. And people are going without water because she turned off water and nothing's being done. And they have complained to the waterworks, and they've complained to the Barbados Police Service, and nothing has been done. And they have to stay without water for days, and they're without water, but yet they have to pay the water bill with all of the the additions they have for this and for that and whatever. And they're saying, could you believe that this is an elderly woman who's doing this? But I've said to you before that people are attached to slavery. People are very, very much attached to being comfortable in slavery. Even recently, when your central bank governor said that only 7.7 percent were unemployed, it only shows that he has brought slavery into what it is to be employed in Barbados. Okay, you are working poor, and he has added that into whatever diagrams or whatever charts he is showing you. He has added slavery into it. Okay, people are attached to slavery in all different ways, but you have to be able to recognize when they're acting, and when it's an act you're going by, and how people behave like they don't care that you are without water. Anyone who could personally deprive you of water, they are attached to slavery. Anyone who can create some sort of scheme and come and take money from you, like borrow money from you, and they're crying, they're saying they're going to pay you back, but when they know they're not going to pay you back. And you should always assume that when you lend someone money, not only are they not going to pay you back, you have created an enemy, you have created a negative vibration in your system. You are hurting yourself when you lend someone money. It's all energy, and you have created a negative energy that is going to sit within you. So it's best not to lend anyone money. But anyhow, when you lend someone money, you see by the fact that they do not repay you that they are attached to slavery. It is in everything you do. It is in everything you do there. You see that people love the slavery that they've come from, and they love the slavery that they're in. They want it to remain, because it would hurt someone's heart, hurt their heart, to do something nice for the neighbor, to have them come. Sometimes people are landlocked, and they may have to use a certain road to get to their land. Do you know that people will stop you from getting to your land because they may have a little power, and they may own a little land here and there. And instead of saying, well, this person has to get to where they live, and it's no problem, just don't start no trouble, just drive on down the road and go to your place, that's no problem. They will actually stop someone from getting to their land when they're landlocked. And it's because not only the person who owns the land is in slavery, the person who's landlocked or needs to use a particular road, they're landlocked too, because although they need to come down the road, they may come down the road and they may want to build a little bit on somewhere else and build. You can't win. You cannot win at all when you're dealing with people who love slavery. And when someone has said to you, ever have someone say to you that you rested comfortably in slavery, you hear that in your history. When people are talking to you, and sometimes it may slip out. It doesn't slip up with me. I say, and I, because I say it's not slipping. You rested comfortably in slavery. If someone says that to you, that is a time that you pause. That is a reason for you to pull yourself up and think about the words that came out of that person's mouth. Rested comfortably in slavery. You need to think about what is being said about you. You rested comfortably in slavery. You rested comfortably in slavery. That's why you are able to build your house over someone's pipes and try to control the water that is going to them, when water is essential. Water is essential. Okay, so so this lady, allegedly, everything here is alleged, but the person is saying they called the police, they called BWA, they're trying to fix this, but she bought the land and she built the house on her land, and your pipes, I'm sure you got permission to put your pipes where your pipes rest right now, and she decided to build her house over the pipes. And I'm sure that the people who were building that structure will have seen that there were pipes running, and like, do you want me to move this here? You want me to move this over there so you don't obstruct? No, she wanted it right there. If it's built over the pipes, it's where she wanted it built, over the pipes. And for someone to have that disposition, for anyone to have that disposition of trying to stop someone from getting water, it shows how attached to slavery they are. And slavery is something, I guess you can say, created by, it had to be people that came from out of some part of the earth that is unknown up to this point. Were there demons? What are they? What were they that could think about keeping someone to do their bidding, and they whipped them, they did whatever they needed to do to them to keep them under control? They're doing this thing to other people that look like them, the human beings, and to break them to the point that they didn't need to keep them in chains anymore. They didn't need to put them, behind bars, or, to lock up. It got to the point now you can actually get on a plane and travel. You could actually get on a plane and travel. You could actually, buy a car. You could actually do this and you could do that, but you're still enslaved. If it existed then, it exists now. Okay? Anything that existed before, it's still happening now. It's just a different smell, a different look, a different flavor, but it's the same thing, and you know it for sure. When you're poor, when you're living poor, when you cannot eat a decent meal, when everything is like a struggle, you're living for the struggle, and you're thinking that, oh, it's going to make me stronger, it's going to do this, it's going to do that, and blah blah. It's only making you stronger for the person who's controlling the struggle. Okay, you're getting stronger for the person who's controlling your struggle. Okay, so this lady in Britain's Hill, okay, she bought a piece of land. They're saying she has hurt animals, that are around the place. But the main focus of this particular blog is the fact that she built her house on the pipes, and she has put a stop valve. She has put stop valves on there, on these pipes, so that she could turn them off or turn them on at her delight, at her will, at her pleasure. So yeah, it needs to be looked into. The people, the residents who are affected need to get together, because I know you don't speak to each other. Okay, you're talking to me now. I know you don't really speak to each other, but when something like this happens, you need to get together. You need to speak on this particular matter, and you need to have some sort of meeting, and you all have to, have a representative from each house. Maybe if, let's say there are 10 of you, and you go down to the water department, you go to the police station, and you show that you are united, and you talk about how many people that live in the house. You have an overall number of how many people are being affected by what this one person is doing, and and then with the police statement and with you going to the Barbados Water Authority, and maybe you speak to your minister. There are ministers, for each district, for each parish. So you speak to your minister, and then you go to her. Then you go to her and you allow her to know that she needs to get out of that pit of slavery. She's in a deep well. She's in that deep well. She's in darkness. Let her know she is living in darkness, and she needs to get out of the well and start to breathe some air and understand that, you love your neighbor as you love yourself. Okay, it's like so important, that one thing that was said in that book that you guys hold dear. It's important. You love your neighbor as you will love yourself, because your neighbor is yourself. You're dealing with yourself. But that's too high. You won't understand that. You won't understand that. But you're actually dealing with yourself. Okay? So if she obviously doesn't love herself, so she cannot do something nice for you guys, but you have to let her know that. Let her know that she needs to get a hold of her senses. And like you said, she's elderly. She's gonna die like that. She's gonna die like that. There's nothing at this point that you can say to her to get her to change. So what you have to do is legally you're gonna have to force her to stop what she's doing, and you're gonna have to take control of the pipes and make sure that she doesn't have that valve, that off and on stop valve that she's put on there. Just legally, you have to approach it legally, because she's gonna go 6 feet under, just like that. Okay, this is Sherry Veronica.